I think you know by now that you are listening to Growing Bolder. I'm Bill Schaefer with Mark Middleton, and we have a tremendous segment for you now. Our weekly Surviving and Thriving interview presented by Florida Hospital. With the right kind of care and support and the right attitude, it's possible to not only survive life's greatest challenges, but to thrive in the aftermath. And right now we're going to give you some specific tips that will help you find out if you're on the right track.
Amen, Brother Bill. Our next guest is an award-winning author and a public speaker who has a degree from George Washington University School of Medicine and Health Sciences. She's co-host of the Staying Young radio show, and she's a regular health and wellness contributor for Fox News Radio. She and two others have written a new book called Age to Perfection, How to Thrive to 100. Happy, healthy, and wise. Let's say a happy hello to Judy Gaman. Hey, Judy, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
We're doing great. Thanks so much for your time. You know, let's jump right into the book, and let's start with the title of the first chapter. I'm guessing if there's just one thing to remember from the book about how to thrive to be 100, it's the two-word title of that chapter, personal responsibility.
Well, that's exactly right, and that starts when you're young. We can't start this at 60 and 70. We can improve at 60 and 70, but we really have to start paying attention even in our younger years, even at 20 and 30 and 40, because these are the times that we make sometimes life-changing errors.
Well, we can pay attention, Judy, but geez, there's so many mixed messages. It depends who we're paying attention to. Conflicting and confusing statements out there about what's good and bad, what'll save you and what'll kill you. How does age to perfection help?
Well, I think you make an excellent point because there is a lot of bombardment. Do this, take this. Really what we did in this book, we put a lot of great research behind it, but what I like to say our best research was we went to those people that were over 100 and we said, hey, give us your top 10 list. And we put that and we included it in the book. And it's interesting that when you compare what they're doing and what they've been doing their whole life, that it goes back to a lot of the research that we really didn't need all these expensive, fancy studies to tell us. We could just ask these people because a lot of the things that they told us across the board were the same.
Yeah, and they're just doing it by nature. It seems like many of these people, they didn't read a book. They weren't advised by anybody. You know, a lot of cases, these are relatively poor people, if not poor, certainly austere, and they just go about their lives and don't make the mistakes that many of us do, right?
Well, exactly, because they weren't eating from the barcode like we tend to do these days. We always say, don't eat from the barcode. If it has a barcode, don't eat it. I mean, they were eating fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. You know, even the meats that they were eating, we know where they came from. They were grass-fed. They were basically organic because before organic got cool, you know that old song, "A country before country was cool." They were organic before organic was cool, and they didn't have all these fancy things that we have now, but they really got to the basics, and they stuck with those basics. You know, exercise on a regular basis, eat lots of fresh fruits and vegetables. Spend time with friends. Take your attitude into check. Take personal responsibility. All these things are so important.
All right, Judy, I told Mark before the interview that I wasn't going to go here, but I think I really want to.
Okay.
You've dedicated in your book an entire chapter to sex.
Chapter 8.
So all right, let us have it. We need to know this. Will sex kill us or help us live to 100? Because it's got to be one or the other.
It's really important. We put Chapter 8 in every book, and that's always the sex chapter, so we're going to print T-shirts say Chapter 8, because it is so important to health. And being in a monogamous relationship and having an active sex life is so important in so many ways. It helps with hormone regulation. It helps with, it's a natural antidepressant. Just even the feel receptors in our body, we have to have that human touch. There was a study a long time ago where they took these kids in the Romanian orphanages that were not thriving. They weren't growing, they weren't thriving, and they put people there just to touch them and hold them. And they noticed that suddenly those kids, they were growing in height, they were putting on weight, their brains were working. We need to be touched. And too often we get in our car, we go to work, we sit at our desk, we go home, and you never touch anybody. You don't touch each other. So the power of touch is really important. And, of course, you have to touch each other a lot when you're having sex. So that's really important.
I think I need to get one of those Chapter 8 T-shirts, Bill. That would be nice to have.
And we can declare you Chapter 8, a whole new meaning.
I like that. You know, there are so many people our age, and when I say our age, 60s and beyond, that, you know, they like hearing this stuff, but in a way it threatens them because you have to work to make these changes. Some people want to believe that it is too late to make these changes. Their life is as it is, but it really is never too late, is it, Judy?
It's not. And this is a very important message for your listeners who are in their 60s. And even if you've made those mistakes at 30, 40, 50, earlier in your life, maybe you were a smoker, maybe you were a drinker, making the changes and the decisions now to get it together does have tremendous health benefits, and it can prolong your life. So it's not too late. This is a message of hope for anybody who's out there that the things that they do, the things they put in their mouth, the decisions they make each day to get out of bed, have a positive attitude, get moving, eat right, avoid things like artificial sweeteners, things with barcodes, cigarettes, alcohol, all of those things are bad for us. Avoid those things and make good, healthy choices. It's a day-by-day, step-by-step process where you can make a difference in your life, not just in your life, but the influence you have on your spouse, on your children, on your grandchildren. Really important, and we can't overlook that.
And your book, Age to Perfection, doesn't just give us hope. It gives us concrete things to try. Give us a few examples of common habits that are literally killing us.
Oh, well, sitting too much. If we're living a sedentary lifestyle, you know, they say the sitting is the new smoking. We're actually taking years off of our life. So if you're at a desk job, or if you just are one of those people who likes the television, or you just like to sit in your lounge chair and read all day, you got to get moving. Very, very important to the circulation in the body and all around, even your immunity, everything. And that's one thing that people can do that's easy. And most of the things you can do to improve your health don't cost you anything. So if you're seeing things online or talking to people and they say, you got to buy this, you got to do that. No, you don't. You got to do some common sense things. So obviously that drinking alcohol is just, it kills us on the inside. It is a toxin. We need to either limit it or omit it completely. And smoking, but not just smoking yourself. Avoid secondhand smoke. I mean, believe it or not, there are still restaurants that have smoking sections. Just crazy. Avoid secondhand smoke altogether. Just stay away from it. There are so many things just like this in our daily lives that we can do, and just choice. It's all about choices, and we just got to make the better choice. Like I said earlier, artificial sweeteners. Stay away from those diet things. People say, "Oh yeah, but the regular soda has too much sugar." Then don't drink soda.
You know, Judy.
Then choose water.
You know, you really hit on something here, and you've put it all together in a great book called Age to Perfection: How to Thrive to 100, Happy, Healthy, and Wise. You make a lot of sense, girl, and we appreciate what you've done to give us all a little boost on our way to seeing how close we can get to being 100. Thanks, Judy.